Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. Today is the start of something new, something big. The very first roundtable from the SEC. So let's discuss what that's all about. The SEC is having its very first crypto roundtable. It's going to start at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, where they are going to invite industry experts and leaders to discuss challenges and discuss how to move forward. This is probably the reason why every single case that was pending have been dismissed. Because they want to start fresh. They want to start over. Every exchange that was sued before, dismissed. Every marketplace, including NFT marketplaces or NFT makers, dismissed, right? Even projects themselves, the ones that were targeted, of course, Ripple was being one of them. Even Tron, another one, dismissed. We're starting from scratch. And now the SEC is going to listen to all the industry leaders and try to make things fair and try to make it, try to be more receptive, right? Rather than try to shut everything down immediately like what Gary did, we're going to make it awesome, right? So this is the start of something big going forward. Rather than before, when we hear about industry leaders just complain, oh, we got a Wells notice, we're told to stop it, we're told to shut it down even though we try to work with them and no one ever gets back to us. It's different now. Let's not forget, the SEC also declared, not only did they dismiss things, they also declared many things. For example, you could say this is good or bad. SEC declared meme coins are non-securities, which makes it so that anyone could create a meme coin. I guess they had to because Trump already created his own and Melania did too. So that's a declaration. Meme coins are non-securities. So there are so many things that they have already ruled. They might be small victories, but they are victories nevertheless. And these are signs that, that we're moving forward. So BlackRock is one of those institutions that are not hiding the fact that they are loading up as much as they can. Others may be, but they are not. So just keep that in mind. As bearish as it sounds like it is right now, if it was that bad, Bitcoin wouldn't be in the 80s. Bitcoin would be back to the 20s or 30s. There are definitely a lot of people on the other side that are buying, like BlackRock. That's what they do. They buy low. Just like, we hear about them buying up all the cheap real estate and propping up the real estate prices. Not that that's a good thing, but that's what they do. They buy when others are fearful. They buy at dirt low prices so they can make money off of that. And so many others are too, right? That's why it's important. It's important to hold on to your Bitcoin, wait out this scary macro period that we're in. We're going to get through it, okay? Once the money starts flowing, that quantitative easing starts again that I mentioned, things will come back in a big way, in a huge way, just like all the previous times before. That's how it works, okay? And look at this headline. Bitcoin sees a surge in institutional money. Like BlackRock, like Fidelity, like all these big boys that are coming in. They aren't even hiding it. You just have to pay attention. You just have to see and hear what they're doing and stick with it. That's all you have to do. Just follow what the big money is doing, not the panicky Wall Street traders. No, you look at what the big and smart money, what they're doing, and they're all loading up on Bitcoin. So today we were all waiting for Trump to make his big announcement. So did he say anything big? Did he announce that he was going to remove capital gains tax? Or did he announce he was going to buy more Bitcoin and put into the Bitcoin reserve? No, he didn't say any of those things. But he did vow to make the U.S. a Bitcoin superpower. Things that he has said before, and vowed to basically make crypto great again in America. It was basically a nothing burger. Like I said, it could be, right? We were all hopeful that something great would come out of it, but not a whole lot. However, it was still a good thing. I argued this was still a good thing. It showed that Trump still cares about the crypto community. He took time out to actually record the video, play it during the digital asset conference, right? And basically, he tried to reassure all of us in crypto that he still cares, that his team cares, and that we will still move forward. Even though a lot of us are hoping and speculating that maybe something spectacular or something huge will be announced that will drive Bitcoin and pump Bitcoin and crypto up today. It didn't happen, right? And I kind of expected that. I told you guys, we kind of expected the same thing to happen when we had that White House summit and the David Sachs press conference before. But nevertheless, we had this happen, and I think it's good. It's a gentle reminder that, hey, things are still moving along, okay? Something else he did say that's interesting is stablecoins, right? And basically creating a framework and supporting stablecoins in a big way in America. We don't want CBDCs, okay? We know that's bad, and Trump agrees, and almost everyone in the crypto community agrees, right? So supporting stablecoins and getting the regulatory framework out there to support stablecoins, I think is a good thing, okay? And this is kind of a start. So again, even though nothing definitive today was announced, but we are still moving in the right direction. This is one of them. Supporting stablecoins rather than having the Fed create its own CBDC, that's a big thing. Brad Garlinghouse has just put out a 4-minute video declaring that, yes, Ripple has won. The SEC finally decided to drop its appeal against Ripple. It's finally over. After 3 or 4 long years, Ripple finally has no worries anymore from the SEC. Okay. So this is the reason why XRP went up today, even though I just created a video. This came out at the last moment, so I decided to create another video about this. In case you need a reminder, this comes after this appeal that was filed back in January. Obviously, the lawsuits has been happening for a very long time. There were, I think, like 3 or 4 cases, and they were all dismissed, okay? The judge in the case basically ruled in favor of Ripple for all of them. And then, even though Gary Gensler resigned in January, the SEC, whoever that was still there, decided to appeal one of the decisions back in January. Okay, they didn't want to postpone it. They didn't want to wait for a new commissioner to come in. They decided to do it, and everyone was frustrated, including Ripple, right? And it just really made no sense why they would appeal, even though the judge already declared that basically Ripple did no harm, right? So if memory serves me, SEC was going after them for Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson selling tokens, also just Ripple selling tokens in the ICO. Also, they were selling tokens in the aftermarket or the secondary market, and they were declaring them as security. So all these things. Basically, the judge ruled that none of these things. XRP is not a security. It's okay to have an ICO and still be a commodity and not a security. It's okay to be selling your tokens after the fact. And the founders are okay to sell tokens. So basically, everything is good. Vegas conference, Bitcoin conference, even though it looks bleak right now, this is probably going to be the biggest Bitcoin conference we've had so far. So make sure you check it out if you can and use my code for 10% discount.